this video will be in English. For the Italian speakers, you will find the Italian subtitles. Click here and activate them. So, what you need to do? Eat like Italians do, or copy the Italian way? This is the big debate that all my friends that are living abroad or my foreigner friends are asking to me. So you probably know that Italians are well known as people that are breaking the rules or bend the rules. We're driving very fast in our highway and our road and we will not complain with the rules, or we set up an appointment or a meeting and we show up very late. But there is one field where Italians are very serious and will never break the rules, and this is about food. Let's start to see which are the rules that we never break as Italian. First, espresso and cappuccino. So the espresso is the coffee, as we say in Italy. For us, there's no Americano or different type of other coffee. There is coffee that for us means espresso. And by the way, the word espresso is with double S and not with X. So espresso can be corto, short, ristretto, shrinked, or lungo, long. But is still served in a small cup with 30 cc of coffee, and you have to sip it in 30 seconds. No other way. For us, coffee is espresso. All the other things are American invention or somewhere else invention. Of course, we can ask for a macchiato, that is nothing else than an espresso with milk foam. And you can have hot milk foam or cold milk foam. Anyway, this is just an espresso with some milk on top. Cappuccino. This is another thing that it's never understandable for foreigner. For us, for Italian, cappuccino is something related to breakfast. And we are drinking cappuccino only for breakfast. At least during the morning. Never after lunch or even worse in the evening. And there is also a reason behind this kind of choice that we made. And is exactly because the cappuccino has a lot of calories. Would you like to assume a lot of calories in the evening before going to sleep? I don't think so. So it's really reasonable to have a cappuccino only and just for breakfast, or at least during the morning. But right after lunch, never ever ask for a cappuccino, especially if you are in Italy. Latte. There is another very beautiful thing that if you go in Italy, you can end up to have an argument with your barista when you are going to ask for a latte. The word latte in Italian means milk. So if you enter in a bar and if you ask for a latte, most probably you will end up to have a glass of milk. And sometimes it's even cold milk, not hot milk. That's because latte means milk. Latte or latte, as the American says, is the contraction of two words that is caffè latte, that is coffee with milk. But as the Americans want to be proud of themselves, they shrink these two words in one to make it shorter, and they invented this latte as a coffee with milk. So if you want to have a latte, like Americans think it is in Italy, you have to ask a caffè latte. Coffee with milk, okay? Or just simply say that you are foreigner and you want the American version of latte. And then they will understand, most probably, if you are in Rome or Milan or another city where there is a lot of tourists, or Florence, Naples, they will understand you and they will give to you the proper caffè latte. So, food separation. When we have a meal, Italians are very strict with the rules. So we, for example, do not put in the same dish all the food together. Never ever. Pasta, rice, meat, vegetables, not in the same dishes, first of all. And the other things is the food separation that need to have a proper timeline. For example, we have the antipasto, that is the appetizer. Then we have the primo, that is the hot first dish. Then we have the secondo, that is the main dish. Then we have dolce, that is the dessert. You can skip one of these, So, antipasto, primo, secondo, dolce. You can skip, for example, the antipasto and start with the primo, and then maybe skip also the secondo and go to the dessert, or do antipasto and secondo, whatever you want, but you have to follow the sequence. You cannot do vice versa. For example, you cannot have the secondo, that is the main dishes, and then the antipasto. That's something that is gonna be very strange for Italians, and they will look to you like a strange person. Another thing that you have to take care is that bread, for example, is not an appetizer. So they will not serve you in Italy, especially in the restaurant or in a home, if you go to visit friends, bread like appetizer and with oil or vinegar. So we have a lot of good homemade or just baked bread in our table, but no oil, no balsamic vinegar, and it's not an appetizer for us. Usually in a restaurant, bread is given from the waiter as a part of the meal and will be refilled automatically when you eat everything. Pay attention that you have to pay as a surcharge this bread. So it's not included in the meal. So there will be coperto and bread apart in your bill. Don't be afraid about that. This is normal for us to do it this way. Salad, another example, is not a dish for Italian, but is a side of the main dish. I will give you an example. Usually the main dish is a steak or fish, and we have as a side a very good salad. And salad for Italian is something very simple. Some lettuce, some pomodori, sometimes some mozzarella on, but that's all. Simple as that. Less is more for us. Just served with some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil of course, and some vinegar and salt. If you like vinegar, if you don't like vinegar, you can change it and put some lemon. Anyway, very simple. No mayonnaise, no cream on the salad, simple, plain salad, and it's not a dish, it's a side for the main dish. The soup is something that Italians usually eat when we are sick. See, in a lot of Nordic country, I see and I've noticed here that they are so proud of their soup. They have a lot of different soup that they're always very nice and very cool and really good taste. But in Italy, we consider the soup something very poor, very cheap, that actually it is very cheap to be prepared, and we do not even consider it as a dish. I remember when I was a kid, when I was having a stomach ache or problem with the health, for example, some fever, or I was not feeling good, my grandmother or my mother was preparing to me some broth and some soup. So for us, soup is considered something that you have to eat when you are sick. Is not a dish even to serve in the restaurant. There is an exception, that is the minestrone. Minestrone is a very high level soup that we are cooking and preparing in Italy with a vegetable broth, and it contains a lot of very high quality vegetables, and then you can usually have it also in a restaurant. But normally people in restaurant do not even serve soup. If you go in a restaurant and if you ask for a soup, people has the tendency to think that you wanted to save money, because soup should not cost a lot. And there is another things that Italians think that why you should pay a lot of money, like 10 euros, for a cheap soup that you can do on daily basis, even at home. So I'm going to have a meal on the restaurant to eat something that usually I cannot cook and have at home on daily basis. Spaghetti. First, there's no spaghetti with meatballs in Italy. We don't have it. This is a typical American invention. They are saying that in Italy we are using spaghetti with meatballs, but it's not true. There's no spaghetti with meatballs in Italy. As well, we do not have spaghetti with Alfredo sauce. There's not this kind of thing. So you can ask to your Italian friends, what is a spaghetti Alfredo? They look at you and say, I have no idea. Another important recipe that usually, especially American, are confusing and are modifying in a very wrong way is the carbonara. There's no cream on the carbonara recipe. cream is not used almost at all in the Italian cuisine. So only some specific recipe has cream inside. The 99% of our recipe has no cream at all in Italy. Why so? Because we think that the cream is melting down all the flavor of all the other elements, and at the end you fill in your mouth and to your palate only the cream feeling, the cream things, not all the other elements taste. How to cook the spaghetti, or in general the pasta? Pasta and in general spaghetti must be cooked al dente. That literally, translated in English, means to the tooth. What does it mean? It means that the pasta should be not overcooked, and you have to take it out at least a couple of minutes before it will be well done, and finish to stir fry the pasta inside of the sauce. This is a technique that we're using in Italy to have the best pasta. So cook the pasta or the spaghetti al dente. Italians are very concentrated on the quality. If you went to the restaurant the day before with your relatives, and the day after you share that you went to the restaurant with some colleague or friends, I think that the first question that you will get is, did you eat well? It was very good what you ate. Nobody will ask you how was the place, if it was fancy or not, or it was cheap, so you save a lot of money. Italians are super concentrated on quality, and they want to have an experience and eat very well. Of course, if you have also good prices and a very good restaurant, this is a plus. But that is not the main focus of the Italian people. The focus of the Italian people is to eat well. So we are looking for good quality, good element, and of course maybe good service. Please don't mess up with the Italian pizza. Real Italian pizza, there's no meat, no pineapple, no ketchup or other strange sauce. Let's talk about meat. We have some meat on the pizza, but it's usually prosciutto or other things similar to prosciutto, like mortadella, guanciale, prosciutto cotto, prosciutto crudo, pancetta. But this is not raw meat, like beef or chicken or something like that. Not at all. There's not existing this kind of pizza in Italy. If you find a pizza like this is not Italian, it's somewhere else invention, or I don't know where they come from. Pineapple. I tasted myself the pizza with pineapple, and I have to tell you that as experience is very interesting. However, I cannot consider the pineapple pizza like a real Italian pizza. This is something exotic that you can find probably in United States or in other parts of the world, but usually not in Italy. That is not something that comes from the Italian cuisine. As well, we have no ketchup, no garlic sauce, no mayonnaise at all. Here in the Baltic states, for example, I came here 12 years ago and I found out that they were using ketchup on the pizza or garlic sauce, and it was like, what the hell? So, sorry guys, in Italy, no ketchup, no other sauce, only tomato sauce and even a high quality. At least you can put on top, when the pizza is arriving on your table, some spicy olive oil with some pepper, chili pepper on. But that's all. This is the only things that you can add just if you want and if you like it. One of the things that for us is super important is, especially also on the pizza, less is more. We don't want to have on the pizza, for example, a lot of elements on. Why so? Because we think, and most probably we are right, if you put a lot of elements, all the elements are mixed together, their flavor, and you will not taste the real flavor of each element. So we prefer to have on the pizza 3 or 4 elements, 5 maximum, but not more. In some region of the world, in some countries, I saw, oh my god, let's put everything on the pizza. That is not pizza. That is something that is more like a kebab or a fast food things. And by the way, never say to an Italian that pizza is a fast food, because it's not. Because pizza is high quality element put together with love. That is totally the contrary than the fast food that you are taking away and consume in a corner of the street alone by yourself or even not even thinking what there is inside the fast food. Pizza is totally the contrary. There are two types only of pizza. The Napolitan style, that is the big one with the cornicione, high and soft, and then the Roman pizza, that is much more larger and crunchy with on top a few things. That's all. Nothing else, nothing more. We have the pizza al taglio, that is a different type of pizza, but is mainly for a takeaway pizza, okay? But the main two types of pizza in Italy is the Napolitan style and the Roman style. That's all. The wine. Italians like a lot the wine, but we are drinking wine only during the meal or with some appetizer or snacks. For example, we have the aperitivo, that is a traditional meeting that we are doing after working hours with friends before the dinner, where we sip some or cocktail or spritz or some wine, but we are having some snacks beside the wine. Because we think that it's not a good idea to drink wine with empty stomach, that can end up also in a not comfort situation. We have the culture of wine and also food, so we don't mess around with the two things together. Super alcoholic, for example, are not mixed or served during any meal. In Nordic countries or in the eastern countries of Europe, for example, it's very common to have a bottle of vodka or some shot of vodka or even whiskey during the meal. You will never see these kind of things or attitude in Italy, ever. We think that during the meal you can have wine, white wine, red wine, or some beer, in case, for example, if you have having a pizza, that is totally fine. And then, after that you finish to eat your meal, you can relax with all the people that were accompanying you during the meal with a very good brandy. Grappa, for example, that is a typical Italian super alcohol drink. Limoncello, Mirto. There is a lot of digestive super alcoholic like Amaro, and we are proud of them. But after the meal, not during the meal. We are really putting a lot of effort to separate the things. During the meal, wine and or beer. And if you have a sommelier that can recommend you, he can or she can also pair for every dish a different kind of wine and super alcoholic drink just right after, or even never, or with the coffee. For example, it's very typical in Italy when you go in a pizzeria to have a beer with the pizza, and after, when you drink coffee, after the dessert you drink coffee, espresso of course, you take a shot of limoncello. That is a super alcoholic things that we have in Italy from south of Italy made from lemon. That is super typical. But not to have super alcoholic drink during the meal. So overall, mangiare all'italiana o copiare lo stile? Eat like Italian or copy the Italian way? I do not know what you would like to do it, but I highly recommend if you want to go in Italy for a vacation or to meet some relatives or friends that you have there, keep in mind these kind of rules. Italians are very well known in all around the world as they are breaking the rules. But there is one place where we never break our rules, and it is on the table with food. In this way and on this kind of topic, Italians are super and very strict and also very serious. So thank you for watching my first video in English. If you like what I'm talking about, please subscribe to my channel, put a like, and thank you for watching. Bye!